All right, welcome again to another edition of School of Poultry. I would like to quickly apologize for missing some sessions, and we are back. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about something interesting that you all would want to hear. Actually, it's season again. We are getting into that season where everybody, even those who have vacated the position of being a broiler farmer or a chicken farmer, are coming back into the business, and everyone wants to make something out of the business in this season of the year. As we are getting into the month of September, people are tending to move into the business of poultry, especially those who call themselves broiler farmer. Okay, so now we are moving into that season, and it's important that we all get results. We all get the kind of weight gain that we want. We all get the profit that we want, and that is one reason why this School of Poultry is going to be beneficial to all of us. All right, so if you're joining, let's know where you're joining from, and just say I'm watching from Uganda, I'm watching from Nigeria. So welcome everyone, welcome. Yeah, I can see Mr. Bayomi, welcome. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how I increase broiler weight in just 7 days. Actually, broilers are so wonderful that you can leave them in the morning, and by the time you are back in the evening, you already see that noticeable change in their growth, in their size. So it's just awesome. Yeah, welcome again. I can see those who have been joining us from time to time. Okay, yeah, welcome, Mr. Luyemi. Welcome, teacher. I can't pronounce that name, sorry. Okay. Yeah, but I see Moyo at the back. Yeah, from South Africa. Welcome. So we're talking about how I increase broiler weight in just 7 days. This is one of the things, again, that anybody can do as long as you understand the principle. Because I see a number of times people reach out and they're like, oh, I've been following your methods and they're awesome. However, I'm still yet to get to that mark. How come? Is there a magic, or is there another magical solution that you are yet to communicate with us? Is it that you're holding some things back? Do I need to enroll for a training before I get all of the bundle? No. Sometimes maybe if you get into one of my trainings, you can get some additional information. However, already on YouTube, I think you even have sufficient information to play around with and get the results that I get. So in this video, it's more like I'm going to be revealing the secret to you guys. I'm going to be showing you how to do it, how I do it, and how you can do it. And it doesn't even have to cost you any extra kobo. Yeah, you don't have to spend any extra money in doing this thing. As a matter of fact, it's even going to reduce your cost of production. Yeah, because most of the times we just focus in the wrong direction, and we get to spend more money than required to put out what we still don't, what we are not proud of. All right, so how to increase your broiler weight in just 7 days is what we're going to be talking about. And I'll be simplifying it in a way that would help you to kind of grasp it. So I'm going to be making it into a formula that you can follow. If you can follow this formula, forget it, you are going to be getting the results time and time again. So let's just dive into the main thing for today. Okay, thank you all for joining. I can see you all. Yeah. So here's the formula for increasing your broiler weight. Yeah, I call it the M plus F plus G will give you 4 kg. 4 kg there is just, it's just like the weight that we all want to get. If you can get 4 kg in 6 weeks, that will be like, wow, remarkable. Most of us will not be able to get 4 kg in 6 weeks, but at least in 7 weeks, you can eat that 4 kg, and that's already fantastic. Okay, so I call it the MFG. MFG. However, most of us have actually focused on F and G for the most part. even when we try as much as possible to want to embrace it's just something that quickly slips off. You just don't get it on your hand again. You think you're holding it on your palm this moment, and the next moment it's gone. So I think in today's edition of the School of Poultry, I'm going to be bringing our hearts or our minds back to the basics, what actually matters, and that is what we are going to be considering today. Okay, so what does stand for? And understanding will also help you to know the other parts of this discussion. It will help you to further understand the other parts of the discussion. And don't forget, in case you are just joining, I said earlier in the beginning of this session that, a couple of times I've received messages from people and they're like, oh, DIY, I love what you're doing. You get remarkable weights and you even show it to us. We know when you started this whole thing, like the broiler series I did, they knew when the broilers came in at day old and they were following. And there was a point where I said I wanted to eat 2 point something kg before my birthday, which is just 35 days after I brought in the birds. And we got there, we got the weight. So it was not like I went to bring the birds from somewhere they didn't know. It was all open to you guys. So people like admire those things and they want to get the same result. But when they try the methods, they're like, some of them get it, but some still come back to me and say, oh, I still don't get as much result as you get. So is there anything hidden? Maybe that is, or maybe this is what is hidden. Yeah, maybe this is what is hidden. So we are going right into it now. Okay, so M is quite simple. It stands for management. And you might just say, okay, yeah, management. Yeah, we are managing our birds and all that. But it's beyond that. It's beyond you just seeing that the word is simple. Yeah, management involves being proactive, being prepared for the entire farming operation, and even unforeseen situations that may just arise in the course of the rearing. Okay, so many people even they are in a hurry to bring in the birds, and they send for the birds come and they start to face issues on their farm, and this tends to play down on the results that they get. So you have to be proactive. You have to ensure that before your birds come in, everything is set. Don't assume. Don't don't use faith to say, okay, things will be okay, we'll manage it. No, ensure that the feed is available. Ensure that the wood shavings, the litter is set. Ensure that you have all the supplies that you need. Don't just think that, yeah, when you start, there's going to be this medication that you are looking for and it's going to come. Ensure that you get the medication before you even start. And especially for feed, make sure that you have enough feed that will carry you for a good amount of time. As simple as this thing is, this is where most of us miss it. We just rush to start. Yeah, we are in a hurry because the broiler price is going up. We want to quickly get our birds to beat it. But forget about the price. You still sell what you buy. Don't forget that there's usually a general pricing, um, a general price range that people tend to sell during the sales period. So you don't need to rush in terms of price. You don't need to really rush to get your birds on your farm. It's not as important as you may think. Okay, so you need to be proactive, get everything that you need. Your feed, while you may not be able to store feed for up to like 5 months, 6 months, that's out of place. The maximum you should even store is like 2 to 3 months. 3 months is even extreme. Try to make it between 1 to 2 months. So the feed that will be enough for 1 to 2 months, just get them if the money is available. Get them and put them on your farm. It gives you rest. It helps you to even save on cost because feeds are always adding up in terms of price. So once you buy lots of feed now, you're not going to be buying every week. So you're saving cost. All right. So just be proactive in all areas. And this one is funny. If you are going to employ workers on your farm, ensure that you know the number of workers that are right, that are appropriate for the kind of task you're giving them. Don't, I'm not talking about even their skill now, I'm talking about the number. Don't employ one person to oversee 3,000 birds or 2,000 birds, even 1,000 birds, especially if you are using manual drinkers. Don't employ just one person to oversee so much birds that they become overwhelmed and they are not effective. So you need to know what you need and ensure that you provide what you need before you even start. And also you need to be available. Being available is one of the management's requirements. You need to be available. Whether you or the farmers or the workers on your farm, you just need to be available for the birds. There are times that we see accidents, or maybe your bird just gets stuck somewhere. If you're not available before you come back, the birds are dead. So you want to ensure that you're available to provide the kind of care that your birds need. Okay, so I believe somebody is getting something already. If you think you are getting value already, please go right there and hit the like button. Let's tell YouTube that we are actually having something interesting here, and let them push it out to other farmers to enjoy. Okay, and if you're here to subscribe to the channel, this is DIY Agric, your number one animal scientist and your poultry success partner. So you'll be doing yourself lots of good to just hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell button to always get notified when I put up new videos. Okay, so we've talked about being proactive and prepared. We've talked about being available. Please do not forget, the business of poultry is not an absentee business. It's not something you can start and just leave. You know, somebody was asking me, I think today or yesterday, she was asking if she can actually raise broilers and just take care of them in the morning, come back in the evening and take care of them. My response was, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. However, you might have some accidents, or you should try as much as possible to protect them from some accidents. And things happen. You might leave the house in the morning, everywhere is okay, the weather is good, it doesn't look like it's going to rain, and you have raised the curtains, but before you come back, or in the afternoon, it just starts to rain and there's nobody there to drop the curtains to protect the house from getting wet, all those things. So someone has to be available almost at all times. I know it's not possible, but as much as you can, you have to be available. And then providing the comfort zone. Yeah, I think this is just about it. Comfort zone, just anything that will keep your birds comfortable. I asked on my Instagram page, and yes, if you are here to follow me on Instagram, the handle is at DIY Agric. So DIY Agric is it. Just go to Instagram and search for DIY Agric and ensure that you follow me there. All right. So I asked on Instagram and I said, warmth or feed, which is more important? I see most people actually answered that it's warmth, maybe because of the picture that I showed them, and some persons still said feed is more important, but I disagree with that. Feed is not more important than warmth. I believe that warmth is more important, because in the absence of warmth, your day-old chicks will not even eat. Yeah, if they are feeling cold, they will not even eat. So anything that your chicks require, any kind of environment, is it the temperature that has to be between 33 degrees to 35 degrees in the first day, and you continue to reduce it until it hits about 27, those things you just have to provide them. The relative humidity that is good at 65 to 70, in the extreme 80, but you don't want it to be 80 for so long. So all those are important. All those things are providing the comfort zone. And if you're able to do this, I tell you, you have done the most important thing in poultry. So probably as we proceed, this will help you to further capture the other parts of this discussion in a way that you have never captured it before. Okay, so we've talked about M. Don't forget, we're talking about the formula M plus F plus G. If you're able to combine all these three together, it will give you the desired weight. Your desired weight can be 2.2 kg in 4 weeks plus. Yours can be 5 kg in 9 weeks, So it will just give you the desired weight if you can combine them together. All right, so we've talked about management and now feeds and feeding. Yeah, this is actually where most of us focus. We are always asking which is the best feed, is new, this is old, this, as their feed become bad, as have they reduced the quality of the feed. We're always asking such questions because we believe so much in feed, and we think once we are able to just give our birds the best feed, then they are going to give us the best results. But sometimes, if you forget what we have talked about earlier, the management aspect, if you don't do much there and you just focus all of your resources and energy on feed, you will still be missing a lot. Because yes, you may spend more money buying the most important, or did I say most important? No, the most expensive feed. You might spend more money doing that, but then the result may just not be as much as somebody who is not even using that kind of feed, that is using maybe a less expensive uh, feed. So you just need to be uptight in your management. But then feed is also very important because the birds convert whatever you give them to eat into meat. They convert the feed into meat. So in terms of quantity, you have to be right with what you're doing. In terms of quality, you have to be right with what you're doing. And in terms of timing and restriction, yeah, the timing of feed, how early do you feed, when do you withdraw feed from them, all those things you have to do it right. You have to do it right. Yeah. And even though your brothers have the maximum quantity of feed that they will normally eat in the first few weeks of their life, you still have to give them ad lib. Yeah, they will not eat, like a brother will not eat 1 kg in one day. A day old brother will not eat 1 kg in one day. However, you still have to give them ad lib. That is, give them all the feed they can get. Let them eat as much as they can eat. During the first 3 weeks, actually, it's good to do that. And subsequently, you can start to restrict the feed, especially in the afternoon. You don't give them feed because you want them to cool off, and during that time also their crop and their digestive organs are more developed. They can eat so much food at a time and keep it and digest it over a couple of hours, excuse me. So that makes sense, giving them about 3-4 hours of rest so they can cool off during the hot period of the day. So it's important that you know the quantity of feed that you should give them. And I think on my Instagram page, I'm going to be dropping that chart that shows you how much of feed your broilers should eat per week. Yeah, one chick, how much of feed should that one chick eat in the first week, in the second week, in the third week, in the fourth week, in the fifth week, in the sixth week. So if you're here to follow me on Instagram, I think it's time to do that. So you just go to Instagram and search for DIY Agric, and then just follow, and you get lots of information there. I actually have plans to load Instagram with lots of benefits so that I can help people on that platform as well. So you might just be getting what you need next on Instagram. So that's the name, DIY Agri. Just follow. All right. So quality, yeah, quality is also very important, and that is one of the reasons why you see people leaving some feed companies and running after some feed company, because we have tested the quality, and people can tell by the results that they get that some feeds are actually better than others. So in terms of quality, you have to give your birds the best that you can give. Not necessarily the most expensive, because most expensive does not automatically translate into the best quality. It has to be something that has been tested over time, and you know your output will tell you. Okay, so quality, it's important. The protein content of your broiler starter, for example, if you can get it to as high as 23%, I think that's good. And it begins to drop as they get to, some call the next phase the grower phase. Although you don't serve the regular grower of about 16% crude protein to your broilers, that's not up to it. So the broiler grower is a special diet. It's not the regular grower that you serve to your layers and your cockerels. All right, so that's that about quality. And then the timing and restriction, I think I mentioned that already in the area of quantity. So when they get to 3 weeks plus, you start to reduce, you start to give them some break in the afternoon, because even if you don't do so in this tropical region like Nigeria and other tropical nations, you will start to see deaths, especially in the evening after they have eaten up so much in the afternoon. From 5 p.m., you start seeing them just dying, and you see most of the ones that will die will tumble before they die. So that's a sign that they are getting into shock, each stroke. Okay, so we've talked about feed just like that, and then we are moving to growth promoter, which is supposed to be the last. It's supposed to be the third. There are cases where I raise birds and they eat those remarkable weights without any growth promoter. Yeah, it's possible. Growth promoter is supposed to just help to push you above the regular limit. So if you do your work well, if you do your assignment well in the area of management, being proactive, providing the comfort zone and all the things that the broilers need, or any chicken for that matter, yeah, you'll get the results that you want. But then let's talk about pushing the limit now. You have been getting some kinds of results, but then you want to push the limit. You want to get more. You want to get much more. So we'll talk about the antibiotics growth promoters, which we have been using for a long time, and is one of the reasons why DIY Agric is here to kind of help to change the direction of people from using antibiotics, which are not so good for they're not so good to humans, to our health in the long run. You don't get to die or fall sick or have cancer just because you ate a chicken that was raised with antibiotics. But then in the long run, they have health risk, health challenges. So antibiotic growth promoters are one ways to promote the growth of your broilers. Undoubtedly, they help to prevent diseases or cure diseases, and at the same time also increase the growth of your broilers. But we are not going to be focusing on that, because we want wholesome food, we want safe food, not just any kind of foods. So we want to try as much as possible to be farmers that are bringing the wholesome meat into the market. So we are focusing on the natural growth promoters, and these are often made from rich ingredients like eggs, like the molasses that we use in preserving, like pineapple. I've talked about several growth promoters on the channel, and in case you're yet to subscribe, you are missing a lot, so you want to hit that subscribe button. So I've talked about that pineapple fish and molasses mix. If you have seen that video, that's a good one. And if you have not, just go to my channel and search for the playlist, the broiler growth promoter playlist. You should see it under that playlist, and just check the video. It will do you some good. And also the egg emotion is another one. All those things are under the playlist, broiler growth promoters, on my YouTube channel. So it's a good thing to consider. All right, so broiler growth promoters are just an excellent way to shoot beyond your regular limits. And if you are yet to understand fully how to inculcate, how to put all this into your broiler rearing plan, I think it's time for you to just go organic and just come to the school of organic poultry farming. Come and learn, try to start practicing organic poultry farming on your farm today. We just use herbs and spices. We use it to cater for the health of your chickens and also make them grow like crazy. You see, sometimes it's just magical. You're like, these things are basic things that we have around us. They are simple things that we have around our homes, but we don't just know how much of good they can do for us. So you might just want to take the organic poultry course, and that will set you on a new record. So if you're interested in that course, it's actually available anytime you're ready. You just enroll and you take the course. I have 10 modules. It used to be a 10 days training that I crashed into a course. I have 10 modules, excuse me, and you take those modules as you want, at your pace. You don't have to rush. You can take it in 2 days. It can take you 10 days to complete the course. It can take you 2 weeks to peruse it and all that. So you also have access to 3 of my books. The books on their own cost about 8,500 naira. But for everybody who's taking the training, I usually give them for free, just for free, just as an added advantage for them. So you can have something to go back to. Sometimes you don't want to go through some platforms and starting to read through the course. You just want to have books. So the books are e-copy, but you can print them. It's printable. You can just print them and have them on your work table or even at the side of your bed. Okay, so come and learn how to use herbs and spices to raise your chickens, healthy chickens for that matter, like the noilers and turkeys I just got rid of. No antibiotics, no vaccination, nothing. Even though I encourage people who are just starting organic poultry farming to give vaccination, to give vaccine, and just to be on the safer side, especially if you are not sure about your environment, because I try as much as possible to ensure that my environment is free of some foreign diseases. When customers want to buy my chickens, I don't allow them in. I take the crate out and they must buy the chicken. If they don't buy the chicken, I don't return it to the flock. I either take it in to slaughter and kill, slaughter and cook for the family, or I give my dogs. So that's how to be proactive in terms of biosecurity. Okay, so I'll be leaving the link to the course in case you are interested. You can just go to the platform there and register for the course. The course is just 7,500 naira, and that would help you a lot. Okay, so we have come to the end of tonight's session. Yeah, so we are moving now to the question and answer part of it, which is also an interesting one. So I'll be taking your questions. Just start pushing your questions across. We've had a long break, so I believe you guys will have lots of questions for me, and I should be available for the next 30 minutes or so to take those questions, and I hope to be able to answer them all. All right, so I'll be waiting for your questions now. Thank you for joining, Chibuz or Mojid. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Mrs. Cynthia, I see you. James, I see you watching from Uganda. Thank you and welcome. Okay, so I'll be waiting for your questions right now. Let's have your questions. And for those who joined later, I'll just go through the slides for you to see what we've talked about while we wait for questions. So just how I increase the broiler weight in 7 days. If you actually follow that formula I explained, you would not have any week without eating your broiler weight, your expected broiler weight, because you should have an expected broiler weight per week. And the first day they can come 38 grams, 42 grams, 46 grams, even 52, 55 in some cases grams, especially the broilers. But your goal after a week should be to eat times 4 or times 5 of that initial weight, and then you continue to push the limit. Week 2 you should be eating 500 plus to 600, in some cases, in some rare cases, even 700 grams at week 2. And you just continue to push it like that. At week 3 you can eat 1.2 kg, 1.1 kg. Week 4 you can eat 1.7 kg and upwards. So week 5 you should be eating 2.2 kg or more. So with those expected weight, you can just start to measure your results. If you meet it, then you clap for yourself. If you don't, then you push harder. So if you are able to combine this formula, this MFG, you will be eating those expected weight and even surpassing. All right, so we've talked about the first one being management. You have to be proactive, you have to be prepared, you have to be available, and you have to provide the comfort zone for your birds. So your management has to be intact before you can expect the maximum result. And then feeds and feeding, you have to address feed from the angle of quantity, from the angle of quality, and then you need to know when to begin to restrict feeding. And finally, we talked about the option of antibiotic growth promoters or natural growth promoters. But of course, I'm going to be advocating for natural growth promoters, which are very good, safe and wholesome for all of us. Okay, so, and I'm encouraging you guys to take the organic poultry course. I've left the link in the chat section. All right, so, and in case you want to reach out to me, I'm going to be leaving the number on the screen. Preferably, you send me a WhatsApp message. That's the number on the screen. All right, so now we're taking the questions. Okay, yeah, poultry farmer. What do I advise in the area of marketing, in terms of marketing? Okay, I think marketing is one of the things that people are not prepared for. They just start to raise the birds, and when the birds are 4 weeks or 5 weeks, even the ones that start to market at 4 weeks, they still try. Some of them start to market when the birds are eating all their money and they feel like they are being emptied, so they are scared. So it is that fear that sends people to start to market, and that's a wrong approach. So for marketing, there's a video I did on broiler sales. So if you watch that video, it should help. I'll try to put it up for you, because I believe I believe in answering this your question, I would not be able to take all the time to address everything. So we'll be taking another question shortly while I try to get that video. Okay. Broiler sales, I believe. Okay, I found the video. So I'm going to put the link up here. So just copy that link into your browser after this session so that you don't miss the rest of the discussion. Just copy the link somewhere and watch it after the session. So it should help you in the area of marketing. Marketing is one of the key areas where you want to be prepared and you want to shoot above what people would normally advise you to shoot for. Maybe you have 400 birds to sell. You have to market like you have 2,000 birds, because normally marketing is a difficult task if you are not so prepared for it. All right, so okay, for your molasses, you have to stop eating as soon as it starts to coagulate. I'm going to use that word. I don't know if it's the best word. As soon as it starts to thicken up, not when it is thick. As soon as it starts to, the color does not have to be black. As soon as it starts to darken up, you just stop and observe. You stop and observe. There's a video. I don't know if I can get my hands on the video. It should be on my old phone. There's a video. Probably I might put it up on Instagram. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And I put that video up on Instagram that helps you to classify the molasses that we have in terms of color and their properties. Okay, so you just have to stop earlier than you did. So I guess you got so much water out of the one you had and it now became so thick. So if you want to do it, you can still add water and just boil a little and make it just as thick as the engine oil or so. Okay, there's another question here. Yeah. Good day, DIY. You mentioned that normal grower doesn't contain enough protein that's needed for broilers. How do you supplement or add? I don't even encourage that you buy the grower in the first place. Why I mentioned grower is because some feed companies call theirs grower. Yeah. For example, I don't think I need to hide any name here. For example, Hendrix has the grower for broiler. They have the pre-starter, they have the starter, they have the grower, and they have the finisher. So they have those 4 classes. So, but their grower is not 16% protein. But the regular grower you see outside is 16, mostly 16% protein. So to just in case you want to up the protein, then you can add fish, you can add fish meal, and you can add soybean meal. You know, those are protein rich ingredients that you can add. All right, so we'll take thank you very much, Mr. Babalola. You're doing a great job for us. Please, at what stage can one start to apply vaccination to broilers? The first week. The first week, from day 6 or 7, you can start to administer your vaccine to your broiler. And the choice of whether you start with Lasota or Gumboro, uh, the best way I understand it, it depends on the endemicity, which of the diseases is more rampant in your environment. So if there are more cases of Gumboro reported, then you want to quickly do the vaccination for Gumboro first. But if there are more cases of Newcastle disease, you want to do Lasota first. So you can start with either of the two. And another way to actually judge this is when you run a laboratory test and they tell you based on the titer uh, that has been observed, they can advise you based on that to tell you, they can give you the program to follow. All right, so I'm seeing another question here. I buy vaccinated day-old chicks and I want to practice organic farming. So should I try to buy unvaccinated day-old chicks before I? No, 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 no. As a matter of fact, even when you vaccinate your broilers, it doesn't take them out of the organic program. The fact that you vaccinated your broilers does not mean they are no more organic. Yeah, there are organic programs that allow for vaccination. Even some allow for antibiotics in the first 2 days. Yeah, in the first 2 days of the chicken's life, they allow antibiotics. But after that, no antibiotics. So the chicken is as good as clean by the time it's entering the port or the slaughterhouse. So you can buy your vaccinated broilers. You can even vaccinate them on your farm. It doesn't mean that they are not safe for humans. The vaccines don't do any harm as much as the antibiotics does. So you can buy your vaccinated day old or even vaccinate on your farm. All right. Yeah, I see Chief Flex. Yeah, the man who just received his 1,000 day old broilers today. Yeah, a great start, bro. All right, so most of us are given a drug chart or scheduled day-to-day guide on what to give our birds. If I may ask, how can we include the days for growth promoters in the chart or schedule? Yeah, you see, this often gets people confused. You know, when you have so much to use, you don't even know where to slot them in. But and this is one of the reasons why the organic poultry course is important. If you take it, you tend to understand why we do this, what is the work of this one that we are using. So you don't just use the herbs because, okay, you read it on Facebook, you read it on Instagram that, okay, this thing is good, ginger is good, garlic is good, aloe vera is good, moringa is good, neem is good, all those good, bitter cola, everything, cayenne pepper, people just know those things are good, but they don't know where to use it. They don't know the exact work that they do in the chicken system. So if you take the course, for example, you tend to understand when or what is their work. So you should know as a good farmer when to use them. Apart from the charts, the charts, the program is just to guide you. It's just a guide. I'm not talking about vaccination program now. Vaccination programs, even that too is a guide, because there are cases where you have some challenges on your farm and you have to just push the vaccination aside, because if your birds are sick, for example, you cannot vaccinate at that time. So the vaccination schedule is not like a rule from God that if you don't follow it, you're going to die. No, it's just a guide too. So it's important that you understand what these things do, and then you know when to slot it in. So for group promoters slotting it in now, you can just create a chart for yourself. Maybe every week I must give group promoters twice. Yeah. So you can decide to give it throughout the day, or you just give it for maybe 6 hours. Could be in the morning, could be in the evening, like that. Because most times the program is just filled up. Day one, use this, day two, use this, day three, use this. So you have to understand what all the things they say you should use, what they are doing. For example, they can give you anti-coxy, and okay, I can actually give this app to tackle coccidiosis. So instead of that anti-coxy, slot in your app, and that might give you an opportunity to even add other organic um, components. All right, so I believe that you got that. There's no one rule, there's no one answer fits all way of doing it, but we just have to apply our own mind and let our intuition guide us. All right, so I'm trying to get another question here. My question is organic and synthetic farming. Oh, organic and synthetic farming, which is more profitable? It actually depends on the angle that you're seeing it from and how you handle it. I think I've answered this question a couple of times, but I'll do it here again. Organic foods worldwide are premium foods. You don't buy the regular carrots at the same price as you buy the organic carrots. It's not possible. Organic foods are premium. If you're buying the regular chicken for 4,000 naira, you should be buying organic chicken for as high as 5,000 or even 5,500 naira. So that should compensate for the higher cost of production. And even the cost of production does not have to be higher if you are able to manufacture most of these things by yourself. But if you are buying everything, if you have to buy the egg emulsion from DIY Agri, you have to buy the aloe vera, you have to buy everything, because we actually sell all those things. If you have to buy them, then in the long run, it's going to be more expensive, because even the drivers will charge you for way bill from time to time. All those things will add to the cost of production. However, it doesn't mean it's bad. If you're able to sell your organic product as premium, then you still get the money, you still get your profit, and you can actually say it is more profitable. So I think the final answer is in how you sell. If you can sell as a premium product, then you say organic is more profitable. But if you sell as the regular farmer will sell, organic is not as profitable as the synthetic. So that's the way to answer it. It's just like somebody who is selling cashew nuts locally and somebody who is selling his or hers outside Nigeria. If you are selling it outside Nigeria, you have to up the standard. You don't want to package some buns, cashew nuts. You want to screen those ones and remove them From removing it, you are reducing the volume. So one can say you may be losing, but in the end, because you are selling it as export, you are getting foreign currency, and the price will not compare to what we have locally. So in the end, you're getting more money, even when you are wasting lots of those seeds, those nuts that you are condemning. You can decide to waste them, you can decide to channel them to another day. But even if you forget about selling them maybe locally or something, if you remove them and destroy them, you will still make more money because you are selling the cashew nuts at a more expensive rate. So I think that's how to answer that question. Uh, okay, this is actually based on how you want it. I've mentioned you can decide to do it twice a week, and it also depends on the organic growth promoter you're using. So, uh, at what age? At what age? At what age? Generally, I don't like to do it in the first week. I like them to take the first two vaccines, and maybe anytime from day 10, I can start to give them. I don't really like to, in some cases, I give them maybe when they are 4 days old or so, especially if they are fully organic. If I'm not giving them vaccines, I give them, but not on the first day, not on the second day. I want all the birds to first acclimatize themselves with the environment. Let me know what I even have. Are these birds good? Are they not good? Before I start to put in my burst in terms of growth promoter. All right, so you're welcome, Chief Lex. Thank you too for joining. Okay, okay. This person is asking, how do you know when your chick are doing well or are gonna do well? So if you're saying, how do I know if they are gonna do well? That means when they are still small. So how responsive are they when they get to your farm? How long does it take them to start eating and drinking? How long does it take them to have a crop field? Crop field is when their crop is full. In the first few hours arriving at your farm, how long does it actually take them to get that crop field? Does it take them up to 2 days? You know, so are they active? Those are the things I tell you, and especially the weight at 1 week. How much are they able to convert the feed in the first 1 week? So that actually is a good indicator of whether they are going to perform well or not. So those are some of the ways. Those are some of the ways, and I believe they are actually they work all the time. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Damian. I had to subscribe. You have teach me. Okay, you taught me so much since I started watching your videos. Yeah, thank you for joining, and you keep getting value. Don't worry. There's so much more coming. Okay, I'm trying to get okay. Oh, if you're asking for feed recommendation, I think I'd you can hit me on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is the WhatsApp number is 07064953738. So I would not want to recommend any feed right now. All right, yeah. So you can ask me on WhatsApp, and I should be able to help. All right. So, and for Deo Chicks too, yeah, I have. If you have not joined the Chicks booking platform, I have a Chicks booking platform. I think two groups now. The first one is filled, two groups, and you can join, especially if you are interested in buying, not maybe you are thinking of starting poultry in the next 10 years or next 2 years or in the next 6 months. I don't really think you should join yet. Maybe you should just wait until you're ready. But if you're ready, you can join so that we have people who are buying chicks, not just people who are spying on us. Yeah, sorry. So I have the group. You can ask me on WhatsApp, and I'll add you to the platform. So, and on that platform, you can actually get advice when you want to buy. I can tell you based on current performance, because you see, this thing is beyond. I did videos on the breeds of broilers, the best breeds of broilers that you can buy, the Rosterio, the Cop 500, the Harboica, the Huber, the Marshall, all those things. But it's beyond the breed. When we are in Nigeria and when you are with DIY agric, it is beyond the breed. We don't just talk about things on the internet. No, it has to be practical. What results are farmers getting? So from time to time, we have challenges with certain arteries, and rusty rate may not be performing as much as it's supposed to perform. So it comes down to the arteries. So if you're on the group and you're ready to buy, you can ask me and I'll advise based on current performance, and I'll tell you, hey, you need to steer clear of this archery. They are not performing well this time. Oh, this one is so good. The price may be a little bit high, but it's so good. And sometimes I even tell you, oh, this one, as low as the price is, their performance is even better than this one with a high or higher price. So I think that group is the one to join if you know that you're ready to buy your Dehu chicks. Okay, and okay, so the same answer goes to you, and it's not out of place. From time to time, maybe once a year or twice a year, most archeries to have some challenges, and it comes from their parent stock, the disease. Maybe they are battling with the disease, or the parent stock are not so good again, and the eggs they are laying, the quality is not there. So, and once we feel uh that problem, once there's so much reports about it, then they too will start to do something about it, and in the next couple of weeks, or maybe sometimes it takes them a few months, they will get the issue solved. But during those times, anybody who buys from them is going to, bear the pain. So don't worry, once you join, we can advise based on, because we supply birds twice a week, and we get reports, we get feedback from our farmers, our customers, and with that feedback, it forms the database that we use to advise customers. And it has been working. It has been working. If sometimes, the bad, you tend to be the bad, the one that will be used to experiment, kind of. If you are the first to report the problem, it just happens like that. But with that, we are able to help a lot of farmers to avoid making the wrong mistake that they would have made if they don't have anyone like us. Okay, so what can cause birds? Okay, diseases can cause this. What can cause a bird which was doing well to suddenly drop in growth? Diseases, mostly diseases. And sometimes when you stress your birds, maybe you change the litter and you did not feed them early, those things can cause their immunity to drop significantly. And when the immunity drops, you are just opening a big or wide gap for diseases to come in. So you don't want to starve your chicks. You don't want to starve your chickens for so long, especially anything over 6, 7 hours is already getting crazy. So you don't want to starve them for so long, because the immunity is going to drop and they may just come down with a disease you don't even know about. Okay, so because they may not give you enough time to even diagnose, they may just come down and before you know it, they are just dead. All right, so uh okay, yeah, it's the same WhatsApp number. I'm just going to leave the number on the screen again for a couple of minutes. 070649533738 is the WhatsApp number to chat up. Once you chat me up, I'll add you to the chicks booking group. But please do not ask to be added to the group if you are not coming with the intention to buy chicks. Yeah. we are going to be here for you anytime you're ready. So there's no point joining now if you're not ready. So if you're ready, just ask me and I'll add you up to the group, and you see everything that is happening there. All right, we are getting to the end of the session, but I'll still be able to take a few more questions over the next couple of minutes. So if you have that question that has been troubling you, just throw them in. Okay. All right, there's another question here. Is it advisable to keep or store your feed in the same house with the chicks? Yeah, it's a funny question. Yeah, it's a funny question. The ideal situation is to keep your feed in the store. But if you rule out the issue, because the main thing you are trying to avoid here is disease, transferring disease from maybe the feed mill, or even through the journey, the feed may get in contact with lots of pathogens on the road. Maybe somebody who has been to another farm joins you when you're bringing the feeds in, or you went to make your feed from a feed mill, and a lot of persons come to that place to make feeds. So for those reasons, you want to keep it far from the birds. You just empty the bags that you are serving um to the chicks. Don't store the feed bags there. But if in your head you believe that the bags are not contaminated, then it makes it does no harm to them if you keep it with the chicks. It does no harm. But the main thing is we are trying to avoid transferring diseases that can be carried or that can be transferred through what do we call those things, fomites, through the feed sac and all that. So we're just trying to avoid that. That's why you don't want to store your feed in the same house with the chicks. But so many times we see farmers doing that. Maybe they believe that the feed bags are clean. All right. So is there any other one? Yeah. We supplied to Enugu. Yeah, we supplied to Enugu. We still supplied about 3,000, okay, 2,200 pullets to Enugu last week. Was it last week or Monday? Yeah, on Monday. So we supply to Enugu. We supply across Nigeria, actually, all states in Nigeria: Maiduguri, Borno, Jos, Kaduna, Kano, Asaba, the east, the west, the south, everywhere in Nigeria, actually. Okay, so let me see if I can take two more. Somebody says I should drop the WhatsApp number again. Okay. All right. So 0706495338 is the number to reach out to. All right. So, and finally, in case thank you very much. Thank you. So in case you want to join that organic poultry course, I'm going to be leaving that link one more time. Okay. All right. So here's the link to the platform where you can make your payment, and you get access to the organic poultry course platform. And you can also, once you click on that link, you see the curriculum, you see everything that is available to you. You see how you get access to 3 of my books, how you get access to 10 modules, and the certificates. For those who have taken it, I should be rolling out another certificate next week. I'll be sending the link to the guy that would fixing the names tomorrow. So certificates should be out next week. So you might want to join and get all the benefits waiting for you. Okay, so thank you so much everyone who has joined the live stream, thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are yet to subscribe. This is DIY Agric, your number one animal scientist and your poultry success partner. All right, so it's my pleasure to meet with you all, and haven't talked about the things that we uh, mentioned today. I believe that you all will be getting better results if you can implement the things that we have discussed. The formula MFG, the management, the feed and feeding, and then the growth promoter. It should follow this order actually. The order of priority should be management first, then feed, and then the growth promoter. Don't put growth promoter in that important part of your brain and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to use growth promoter, and forget to fulfill your obligations in the area of management. And don't focus on the best feed available and forget to, take advantage of those loopholes that you have been having in the area of management. So make sure you fulfill your requirements in the area of management, then also add good feed to it, and then you can decide to up your game with your growth promoter. And when you're choosing your growth promoter, you want to go with organic because it's best for us, it's best for the environment. Okay, so thank you so much for joining, and this is where we'll be drawing the curtain. See you in the next one. Bye bye.